Hey dolls, it's your girl Queen and I'm back with another hair series. It's actually a wig transformation. So this wig has been through some things. First of all, I did a a ash blonde to it, and then after a couple of months I felt like I don't want that no more. I did a front rainbow arrogance hay inspired situation. If you guys go a few videos back, then you guys will be able to see that video. Now I actually stripped that color and did this. So you guys love this. I'm a winter baddie. Like, let me just take that picture. I need to do it. Like, I hope those pictures are taken because I be tight. In this video, I'm actually going to be showing you guys how I carefully, when I say carefully, I carefully strip the color, the previous color. Well, pretty much I stripped the previous color in order to get this particular color. I tell you guys in detail exactly what I use and what I did on and off camera. There were some things that I felt like I could have did differently, and I will definitely tell you guys throughout this video. And just kind of give you some insider secrets on, hair color. Being a hair colorist and, how to achieve certain things without damaging the hair. So you guys stay tuned. Matter of fact, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So I'm pointing this way. The video. Alright dolls, we're going to be using 10 volume developer. We're going to be using blue flash lightener. You're also going to need a brush, a bowl, and a whisk to mix all your products together. A scale is very optional, you dolls, but for me, time is money, and I do not have time to be wasting money using more product than I need. You feel me? This part is really important. You need to pay attention to the consistency of your mixture. If the mixture is too thick, then you need to add some developer to loosen it up. If it's too thin or runny, you need to add some lightener to thicken it up some. The ideal mixing ratio is 1 to 2 parts. Detangling your hair or your client's hair is highly recommended before applying any type of product to the hair. After I detangle, I'm going to go ahead and start making my sections. I'm splitting the hair down the middle so I could work on one side at a time. I'm going to go ahead and clip that up and out the way. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I like to work in sections because it just makes everything a little bit more easier to get to. Okay dolls, so as you can see, I'm already starting to apply lightener on this section of hair. I like to apply it to the outer layer portion first and then go in and make subsections. I like to make sure that I'm saturating the section of hair that I'm working on in the lightener just to make sure it can really remove the unwanted tones. Whenever you're sectioning, make sure your parts are about maybe 1 inch to make sure you have maximum amount of coverage and to make sure that the product can really work into that hair. If you take too big of a section, you might end up with patches and have to go back and do more work. So try to be as efficient as possible when you're doing it the first time because you don't want to cause any damage to the hair, especially when you're doing a corrective color. We're going to go ahead and repeat the same steps on this side of the wig. We're going to apply it to the outer layer and then we're going to go in and make tiny subsections. Make sure that those parts are 1 inch and make sure that you're really saturating that hair in the lightener. So at this point, I've already applied the lightener to the entire front of the wig, and I'm just going back in, targeting certain areas to make sure it has enough lighter. Again, we want to pull as much of those unwanted tones out of the hair the first time around. We want to make sure that it's all gone, where most of it is gone. We're going to repeat the same steps on the other side, making sure to focus on the areas that need more lightener. Remember, we're trying to pull out the unwanted tones. I decided to cover the wig with a plastic cap. I wanted to create natural heat so that the lightener can process faster on the hair. I'm going to set my timer to about 20 minutes, but I'm going to check on the hair periodically. After about 15 minutes, I decided to remove the shower cap off the wig. I wanted to check on it, and I also wanted to make sure that it was not being over-processed from the natural heat that the shower cap created. I noticed some parts of the wig became a little lighter while others remained the same. I wanted to leave the lightener on the hair a little longer. However, I did not want to risk damaging the hair, so I went ahead and rinsed the hair in warm water and shampooed it. These were my results after I shampooed the wig. It had a slight yellow tint in this area. However, the red and orange were still very pigmented. I went ahead and mixed up a new batch of lightening developer off camera. I applied it the same way how I applied the previous sections. I start out with the outer layer and then I go in and make my subsections. Make sure that your subsections are small enough so that you can apply a generous amount of lightener to that hair. You do not want to be stingy. You want to be as generous as possible, but make sure that you are getting every nook and cranny that you can. We are trying to pull the unwanted tones, you guys, so keep that in mind. I did want to let you dolls know that instead of using 10 volume, I used 20 volume when I mixed up this batch. I wanted to get the hair as light as possible without causing too much damage, so I left this on for about 10 minutes while still watching it. These were my results after leaving the lightener on the hair for about 10 minutes. There was still some red and orange tones in the hair. However, they weren't as pigmented as the first time. I wasn't mad with the results, so I decided to go ahead and move forward to the next steps. Okay, you dolls. All right, you dolls. You made it to the end of my part 1 hair series. I explained to you guys everything that I did in order to safely achieve the strip, the strips, how to safely remove the color from the hair. Disclaimer, if you are not a professional, please seek professional advice. I mean, I am a professional, that's why I'm here. But no, seriously, if you're interested in coloring your hair, I feel like that's something that needs to be done professionally, because you yourself, you just don't know the chemistry of hair, and all that it entails. So you guys do the right thing before you end up bald headed, before you seriously look like the bald cat method. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and stay tuned for part 2 of my hair series. Yeah, in that portion of the video, I'll actually be showing you guys how I color